Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Entertainment 411. I am your host today, Joey Freddy Larson. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I guess it's called X now, not Twitter. Maybe you're on Instagram. Welcome. This is Entertainment 411. I'm actually filling in today one of our regular hosts, Fareed. It is his wedding anniversary, and how dare him? He chose his lovely wife and his marriage over business today. And now you're stuck with me. Welcome to the show. Entertainment 411 is the show all about Canadian entertainment. We have guest actors, directors, casting directors, agents, filmmakers, industry experts, all here to share their expertise with you, to answer your questions. This episode is a very special one. It is called 10 Questions. We have our guest today. She is backstage. Without further ado, unless does anyone want further ado? Sometimes people want more ado. I don't think I'm going to give you any more ado. That's it. No more ado. Without further ado, our guest today is a voice casting director. Her company and her team, KH Voice Casting, for 25 years has been a voice casting leader in Toronto, casting commercials, animated series, also video games as well. They offer voice coaching, workshops, classes. They're voice directors on a lot of those projects as well. And she has been cool enough to take some time to be with us today. So without any further ado, please welcome Kim Hurdon to the stage. Kim Hurdon.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I was waiting for some more ado.
You want more?
A little bit.
Okay. All right. I'm going to kick Kim out of the stage. She wants more ado. Welcome. And before we get started, I've got 10 questions locked and loaded. We're going to have the opportunity to share some questions and comments from our audience, this being an interactive show. But Kim, a little birdie told me that just yesterday you celebrated a birthday.
Oh my God. Okay.
So everyone shout out Kim in the comments. Everybody say happy birthday. So we got Fareed's wedding anniversary, Kim's birthday, and also a friend of the show, another casting director, Stephanie Gorin, I believe I heard also shares your birthday.
I didn't know that.
I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before. So watch this, Kim. This is going to blow your mind.
Okay, I'm ready.
Look at that from... I'm probably going to butcher that name. Kai. Happy birthday, Kim.
Awesome.
And we got Andrea here. Oh, I love her avatar. Andrea. Happy belated, Kim. We got Jen Bunny. Aw, happy birthday. So many here. Look at this.
I'm already
a lot of love. Thanks for the love.
Hello.
We're just going to have an hour of me putting these happy birthdays
okay.
up on.
Okay, cool.
I got to get to them all. Jennifer Wren, shout out to Jen. I think Jennifer is a regular viewer here. So happy birthday. Look at all that love.
Yay, thank you. That was awfully lovely.
Hopefully you get some good loot. Somebody take you out for
dinner?
Dinner?
Got a little bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Dinner, wine, the whole thing.
Right. So you got your presents. But your presence here today is a present for us. See what I did there?
A lot.
And you have been not only generous in spending time with us, but you are also offering a prize to one of our viewers today. And that prize is going to be a 30-minute coaching / consultation session. You told me anything goes, however they want to use that half hour for.
That's it. I mean, you suggested maybe taking me out for pizza, but I don't know. It's up to them.
Dealer's choice. Yeah, it's up to the winner. So thank you for offering that. That's a huge opportunity for all the actors watching, the voice actors watching. And how we are going to do this, I'm going to throw up a ticker on the screen here that explains it. To enter the contest, you see it at the bottom, join the chat on Facebook and comment hashtag Queen of Voice.
Love it.
Queen, royalty of voice. So just to let people know, we learned that this software, this StreamYard platform that we're live streaming on, we can get the comments from all the platforms, but the hashtag contest apparently only works through Facebook. So if you're watching on X or Instagram or maybe even YouTube, at least for a moment, flip over to Facebook, type hashtag Queen of Voice. You'll be entered into the contest. You only have to answer that once, or you only have to enter the hashtag once. At the end of the show, we're going to do a random draw that the software does. Real fun. One of your names will pop up on the screen, and you will be the winner of a 30-minute consultation with Kim. Look at them. They're rolling in here already.
Awesome.
Pepper's on it. Andrea's on it. Yeah. Mirta. Rotem. Great names. Look at all these cool names. I got a boring old Joe Schmo.
Oh, Kim.
All right. So yes, I'll leave that ticker up there. Again, hashtag Queen of Voice. I don't think it matters whether it's capitals or lowercase if you're concerned about that. And let me make sure that's on here. Actually, for everyone who has already posted, just to make sure the entries count, post it again. So if you've already posted Queen of Voice, post it one more time. I'm just checking the software to make sure that the entries are coming in. So get a second one in starting now. Contest started now. Starts now. Okay, there we go. Now they're rolling in. Okay, great. So this is called 10 questions.
Okay.
We have 10 questions for you, Kim. So let's get started. Are you ready?
Are they hard?
Yeah, they're super hard. Mostly
not math.
Quadratic equations.
Great, that's great.
Algebra.
Yeah, awesome.
I think some organic chemistry questions.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
yes.
ready.
How many molecules of ATP are generated in the Krebs cycle?
The fact that you even know those terms is frightening.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a former life, I was a kinesiology major.
Okay.
And I never used that degree, not
until,
one bit.
Until just now.
Until now. Yeah. Finally, my parents would be so happy. All right. So first question is, what was your journey to becoming a voice casting director?
Okay. Mine was a little different, I think, than most because I don't come from an acting background. And most casting people do. Mm-hmm. So I, back in the day, was a punk rocker living on Queen Street, Queen West, and busking for a living. And I needed a job. So I answered an ad in the paper that said, "Do you like music?" I said, "I do like music." In the newspaper. That's how old I am.
Wow. Love
it. Went to the place that had the ad, and it was an audio house, a music production house, which I had never heard of before. So I started as a receptionist at a music production house, and they had an in-house voice casting director, and she left to go somewhere else after I'd been there for a year or two, and she sort of suggested on her way out, Karen Gora, someone who still works in the industry as well, she said, "I think Kim might be good at this." And I'm like, "What?" Okay. So that's how I started. They brought back someone that had started the first voice caster in Canada. They brought her back to train me, and here I am. I know.
The rest is history.
Right? Crazy.
The newspaper. There's some people in the audience saying, "What's a newspaper? What is a newspaper?"
Yeah, I know. At least it wasn't a sign in a window. Okay, it was a step up from that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like a guy with a sandwich board on. Yeah. My follow-up question is, you said you were a busker. Let me guess, you were juggling flaming chainsaws?
No, singing.
Ooh, singing.
Yes, my roommate and I were singing. She played guitar and we both sang, yeah. And we figured out where the perfect acoustics happened, and that was our little corner. And
love it. Yeah. Where was that?
The cross where the perfect acoustics. I'm not giving that away. I'm not. I still know because I know I can picture it right in my head.
I almost had you. And second follow-up question is music and singing still something that is part of your life?
It hasn't been for a while. So for a long time it was, and I played in a lot of indie bands, and we played up and down Queen. And then for about 10 years, maybe a little more, maybe even longer, I played in a disco cover band. Nice. Called Booty Smacker. Smacking the booty. And we did full costumes.
A disco cover band.
Yeah. Full costumes, costume change every set. Wigs.
Love it.
Yeah. Master John's, the whole
Saturday Night Fever every night of the week.
You know it, baby.
Love it. We got a comment here. I'll just flash on the screen. From Louise Granahan says, Kim's voice classes got
Louise.
me through the big COVID lockdown.
I know
Life
Louise.
changing. Yeah.
And Louise, I know. Louise started booking audiobooks after taking classes. See, life changing. Yeah, super successful. Way
Thanks
to go,
for saying hello,
Louise.
Louise.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, you've passed question 1. We can move along.
Okay.
And that question is, what do you love about casting?
Wow, that's pretty general. That's pretty broad. What do I love? There's a lot of things. I like the actors. I like the actors more than the clients. Sorry, clients. But the actors are more fun, right? And finding new people. That's one of my joys. So the way we cast, and this is probably a good time to talk about that, I guess. The process. So when we cast at our company, because we have a very large group of people that are sort of casting people and voice direction people on our side, we do a really wide net depending on where we're looking. So if we're casting across the GTA, we put a breakdown out on casting workbook, and it goes out to all of the talent agents within that area, and we ask for everybody. So, give us your top 6 or top 10 or whatever it is. Or sometimes we don't have a gate on it. It's just give us anyone that you think is good for this role. And then we winnow it down from there to give it usually about 10, maybe 10 or 15 we pass on to the client. So throughout that process, we're finding tons of new people. Some of them I don't know. Some of them I do know. So we may have pre-auditions before we get them in front of client, especially if I don't know them. But that's one of my joys, is finding new people. It doesn't happen often that I'm out in the real world and, a waiter will have an awesome voice. It's happened,
right?
But they get very freaked out when I say, they're like, what? Yeah. Are you a weirdo?
Right.
I don't. Yeah. That happens.
Yeah. Are you scamming me?
So that's my favorite thing is really finding new people and then working with people. Well, we were talking about it earlier, working with people as they're auditioning. So figuring out what works for some, doesn't work for others, and that the psychology behind how to sort of help people and shape their performances.
Right.
I love that.
Unlock their best, unlock their potential.
Yeah.
Free their voice.
Free their voice. Hashtag free their voice.
Hashtag free their voice. Shout out to Kristen Linklater. Jen Bunny says, I'd love to have someone compliment my voice randomly.
Well, then
Jen,
I hope I
here
run
it
into
is.
you. Yeah.
You have a beautiful voice. I can tell by your avatar and that cool hat, Jen. Beautiful voice. Super random. There you go.
Well, but that's because actor. So a waiter generally doesn't, and they're kind of very, hesitant and weirded out by the whole thing. And usually they don't do well behind a mic.
Right. And they're just like, just give me a big tip, lady.
That's it. Clients mistake that though, and they'll say, well, can't you just go, like, I know this pub where there's a lot of Irish people. Maybe you could. I'm like, but they aren't actors. You'd think anyone can just get behind a mic and talk and make it. Yeah, they can't.
And they're drunk.
And they're drunk. It's a pub.
All right. Moving on here. You're doing a great job so far. 2 for 2, I would say. Perfect record. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay.
Question 3. I'm sure the actors viewing right now are going to love this one. What advice would you give to aspiring voice actors?
The biggest one is this is just because I think we cast so many different genres. Understand what you're auditioning for and understand what that genre's ask is. So just as an example, commercial is, I'm not going to say uptight, but it's not as creative, shall we say, as animation would be or gaming would be. And so oftentimes we'll get a whole bunch of self-tapes in, as I was explaining earlier. And I know the actors, and they're coming from film and TV. And their auditions sound like they're film and TV. And animation is not that. Animation is, boop, it's out of the frame. So, and I'm like, oh, they could have hit it. They could have hit it if they just understood what we're looking for. Because I know they're good actors. So understanding the energy necessary to bring, and doing research in that way, watching cartoons. If you want to get into cartoons, watch freaking cartoons. Watch what does preschool sound like? What does 7 to 10 sound like? What does an adult animation sound like? They're very, very different asks.
Right.
And then also going to gaming, that's more like film and TV. It's got more energy, but that's the sort of vibe you have to bring. So if you don't understand that, you're wasting your audition. It's a complete waste.
Right.
So study it. Even just take one class, one animation class, because often it's very eye-opening for actors. So, oh my God, I'm allowed to do blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we want you to.
I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah. And if only there was some place we knew where they could take classes or workshops. Huh?
We've got one coming up that I'm so excited about. It's I can't believe I'm promoting this, but I am. I'm gonna. I never do this.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen it offered anywhere in the States or in Canada. It's singing for animation. I know. And so you get to go in studio with a guy that I've worked with on a lot of shows, most recently Barney's World. And he is awesome. So it's when actors get booked and do an animated series, it's often kind of frightening when they have to sing for the first time. So they get super intimidated and scared and shut down. And so the person that's teaching the class for us, Matt, is fantastic. And he brings out the best. And even if you can't sing super well, he'll show you how he pieces it together so that it isn't scary for the actors. Was I supposed to keep talking when you weren't here, by the way?
You nailed it.
Okay.
Yeah. You kept the ship afloat. I got my connection must have been shaky and I got booted out of the studio. Something I did, something I said, and you nailed it. I'll watch the replay just to make sure you held it down.
All right. I tried.
Thank you for that. Was that the end of that answer?
So yes.
Of the promo?
Yep. So
where should they go? What website should they go to?
It's khcasting.com.
khcasting.com and singing for animation.
Yeah. We have a whole bunch of workshops that we've got some like monster creature sounds for gaming coming up. We got tons of stuff. Yeah, I like to sort of shake it up a little bit. I sometimes do them, but most of the time I'm bringing in specialists from the industry, casting and voice directors and things like that. Yeah.
Jen Bunny has a follow-up. Are there online classes? Just because I'm nowhere near the GTA, I still come there to work, but online makes life easy.
Yes, absolutely. The singing one isn't, because you have to be in the studio with Matt to record with the engineer and do all that kind of crazy stuff, lining everything up. But yeah, lots of them are online. I think, as a matter of fact, the creature one is online, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got tons. Most are still online. I would say a third maybe are in studio. So yes, cool. Jen Bunny, you'll get complimented on your voice. It'll be awesome.
And Rodham, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Doing the monsters one. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
That's cool. Darcy's awesome.
That is super cool. Now, so you're 3 for 3.
Okay. Cool.
This is the time in the show where we have a quick sponsor break, a few messages from our sponsors, and then we will be back with question 4 from Kim Hurdon, voice casting director. And wait for it. Wait a second. And here comes the video now.
Director who gives you good notes. I'm going to be a bad director who gives you lousy notes.
My Tribe Studio. A versatile space for your projects. A space to find your tribe.
Actors, do these audition struggles sound familiar? You waste time shooting with amateur family and friends and often think, I wish I could just work with professionals. You've declined an audition or missed a casting deadline and think, I wish they would just give us more time. You waffle on how to play a scene, you deliberate over which take to submit, and you think, I wish I just knew what they want. Your reader bailed on you last minute and you think, oh no, not again. Don't they know this is a huge opportunity for me? You wasted hours on the tech trouble of editing and uploading files and you think, I just want to act. and let them handle all the tech stuff. You've reshot an audition due to bad sound, bad lighting, or an amateur reader. You've missed big auditions while on vacation or on set, and you think, oh, this always happens to me. You aren't working as much as you want, you aren't submitting your best auditions, and you wonder, will this acting thing ever work out? Introducing Actors Audition Club. We help professional film and theater actors shoot standout auditions in less time, so you can hit tight deadlines, nail the callback, and book the role. Get access to free training, monthly workshops, weekly classes, book private self-tape audition coaching sessions 7 days a week from anywhere in the world. Visit actorsauditionclub.com to get started today. And action.
And we're back. We are here, Entertainment 411. Today's guest is Kim Hurdon from KH Voice Casting. And special shout out to our sponsors, My Tribe Media. They offer all kinds of workshops and classes. They're based in Vancouver. If you're looking to take advantage of any of their offerings, I believe they offer a 15% discount if you mention or enter the promo code EBOSS. And I'm also going to drop into the chat here for the actors watching. If you want to grab the audition checklist from Actors Audition Club, you can go to www.actorsauditionclub.com/checklist. And it's a checklist that we share with our actors at Actors Audition Club to help you shoot standout auditions in less time so that ultimately you can nail the callbacks and book the role. And BT Dubs, Kim, the voiceover on the Actors Audition Club promo was my voice.
Yeah. You
So,
think I didn't recognize that?
any tips,
Come on.
pointers?
Come
I
on.
could hit some high notes, maybe. I think
That's what I was thinking. A little more melody, maybe.
a little more variation.
Yep.
Gotcha. For next time. Thank you. Thank you. Note taken. And next time I see you, it'll be I'll use this voice. Hi everyone. Hi, I'm your host, Joey Freddie Larson. It's good to see you.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't
go.
wait. Okay.
I got range. We've got some people still coming in with the Queen of Voice here.
Sweet.
I'll let you guys know. Let me check it. So far, we have 19 entries to that contest. So keep them coming. I'll throw that ticker on here again. If you are just joining us, you can enter a contest to win a 30-minute one-on-one consultation / coaching session with Kim. She can review your demo. She can give you career advice, talk about voice, or you can just go grab a slice of pizza and not talk about the business at all if you want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would also be a breath of fresh air for you. Yes. And so moving forward here, actually, I should finish that thought. To enter that contest, if you are just joining us, hashtag Queen of Voice, that'll enter you into the contest. We'll do the giveaway at the end of the episode, so make sure to stick around. And then we'll move along to question 4. I know that you may work with a lot of child actors, so you're dealing with stage moms and stage dads. What advice would you give to those people?
That's again pretty broad. So for auditioning for animation, you don't, because a lot of parents don't know this, you do not work as a reader for your child.
Right.
Don't do that, because you're not as good an actor as your kid is most of the time. Just saying. So not that I can't ignore it, but in all animation auditions, we don't ever use a reader. We only have your side of the conversation. So that's a big tip for all the moms and dads out there.
Right.
And when it comes to the final record, so when I'm voice directing, make sure that you've gone over the script with your little bean, because it just puts so much pressure on them to walk in and they're like, oh, I didn't get that script, or I didn't see those lines, and it's just not good. I mean, I make it as comfortable as I can for them, but having to work through doing cold reads with a 7-year-old is not fun for them.
Right.
So
new words maybe they haven't seen before, that they don't know how to say, they don't know what it means.
That's it. And just make sure, this is like an overall, that they're having fun. If they don't, back in the day when we did lots of auditions in person, I had a mother that was pushing her crying child down the hallway. And I'm like, no, don't do it.
Right.
That's cool. Like, I'm not going to freak out. If you guys want to go home, just go home. Like, it's no bigs. So just listen to the kids.
That mother was actually shooting a PSA about how to ruin your kid for showbiz for the rest of their life.
Therapy. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so great advice. Thank you for that. Stage moms, stage dads, make sure your kids are having fun. Make sure you review the script with them. Make sure they know what is going on, and don't worry about saying the other lines. That's across the board with voice
It is.
auditions. And
It
I
is.
think
Yeah.
some people, especially if they're new, don't realize that. So they've got someone like off mic reading, or they're trying to read both
That's it.
characters' lines, but it's just their character.
Yeah, just their character. And most of the time it's because we don't typically record ensemble anymore. We used to try, but people have schedules and things happen. So we are just recording you. So we're recording one at a time in animation and also in gaming. So you're never working off another person. So we want to make sure that you can do that. And that's why we audition that way.
Right. And then your audio engineers mix and match and put the takes together and
Exactly.
figure out the timing and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's
Alrighty.
quite crazy. I know. As a voice director, you've got to remember performances almost and sort of stitch them together in your head. And it
Right.
could be from 2 weeks ago. Gosh, for video games, sometimes we're recording over like a 2 or 3 year period. So remembering, and I don't, because I've been doing this too long, I have people's voices in my head because I'm crazy, probably a little bit. So I can remember what they delivered
You
and how
too?
it's.
You too? You got voices in your head?
See,
Oh,
you warned
man.
me you were crazy, and now I know.
That's great. Okay. Yeah. And so you mean like matching energy levels?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they can adjust volumes and do that in post, but just the energy of the two actors being in the same scene and not playing it wildly different, you have to
That's
match.
it.
Mix and match.
Otherwise, we're in for a world of pickups.
A world of pickups. Okay, here's something nice from Jen Bunny. My son's listening. He says he never wants to do voice acting.
What?
He said it sounds hard.
No,
Poor kid, lucky him. This is for his mom to try and do.
it's not hard. It's super fun. If I'm making it sound hard, I am sorry, because it is super fun.
Yeah.
You get to have the paper in front of you. You don't ever have to memorize your lines. So it's kind of awesome in that way, and it doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, we want you to do wacky faces and get into it. So you gotta be uninhibited, but yeah, you don't have to get in hair and makeup and all the stuff. It's just you talking and having fun. It's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Jen just said in another comment, "Oh no, he hates reading." Well, we're trying to throw you a bone here, Jen, but yeah,
Not taking it.
maybe it's not for him. Yeah. Don't force him to do it. That was the lesson.
There you
Don't be the mom pushing him in while he's crying into the office. All right, where are we? Question 5 is, what is the biggest mistake that you see performers make when auditioning for voice?
When it's a self-tape, well, I probably touched on it earlier, not understanding what the energy is of whatever they're performing. So it could be within the scene itself, and doing the sometimes what actors do is the old me, boring, me, boring, me, and not putting themselves in the scene and understanding who they're speaking to and what is actually happening in the scene. And beyond that, in animation, you can also pick up different things that are happening and throw in some ear candy along the way, where you could be falling down the stairs and it's written into the direction. It's not actually in the line. So I would like to hear that. I would like to hear you go, "Oh no," and then because we're going to do it live. So if you can show me that you are in that scene and you have become a cartoon, in essence, I'm going to dig it. So that's a big mistake, is just paying attention to exactly what their lines are and not looking at it as a whole scene.
Great. Love it. And your first note about the understanding the world and understanding the tone, that's something that applies across the board. If you're going out for TV and film, you need to watch a couple episodes of it. Like, something like a big broad comedy is going to be different than a legal drama or
That's
some
it.
kind of docudrama. So you really need to understand what the world is.
Yeah.
Your second point was, I think, because we're only reading our lines, there can be a trap of the line reads are disconnected from what's actually going on in the scene. So
Mhm.
even though we're not hearing the other person, it still needs the sound and the progression and the energy of the scene, and
Mhm.
needs to sound like you're actually responding to someone and not just a random
Yeah.
flat read that's disconnected from everything else. So
That's it.
those are great
And
tips.
that's animation. I mean, the same thing as you said applies to film and TV. It also applies to commercial reads.
Right.
So understand what the product's ask is beyond what the spec is. So if it's a McDonald's spot, if it's a Tim Hortons spot, you know what they sound like. You know generally where they're going. So plug yourself into that world. And as you said, do some research. I mean, all you have to do is Google and you can come up with, a million spots or,
Right.
or different animated series that you can check out before you deliver your self-tape.
Yeah, like a high luxury brand might be really cool and even and composed, something like Lexus, or like even Lincoln, if you think of Matthew McConaughey in those Lincoln ones, versus a Doritos or a Mountain Dew, where it'd be, hey,
That's
what's
it.
going on, everybody? It's time to eat the Doritos,
That's it.
Cool Ranch. Like
That's
that's
it.
gonna be very different than
Totally.
a Chanel or like a Godiva chocolate. Like
That's it.
Godiva chocolate, luxury. Like, so
Yeah.
just understanding those
That's it.
intricacies.
And broad strokes, again, I'm so generalizing, but as you just mentioned, it's almost a barometer as to what the energy level should be. The higher price, the more high priced it is, the less they're going to sell it to you. They're just going to be super
Right.
chill and talk. But if it's
Right.
McDonald's or Tim Hortons, it's going to be in your face, and Walmart, blah, blah, blah. But if it's like, as you
Right.
said, it's Matthew McConaughey, he's like, hey, I got a cool thing. You might
Right.
like it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, or the John Hamm read is very, very cool. Like you even sometimes see that, like a John Hamm read, and it's like that, just cool, kind of
Super
flat,
chill.
maybe down tones at the
Yep.
end, more
Yep.
matter of fact statements.
Yep.
You mentioned also throwing in some wild noises. When I submit, often if it's appropriate for the character, I'll find a way to squeeze in the laugh of the character.
Yep.
Maybe even something sing-songy if I get a feeling that there might be an opportunity to just like, even to show that I can carry a tune, I might sing a line or improv something in there. How do
Yeah.
you feel about improv in a voice audition? And like for something probably
Very
wouldn't be
good question.
appropriate in commercials, but for something like animation?
Yeah, for commercials, if it's something that's comedic, if it's a two-hander, then you can do a little bit of the
Mhm.
back and forth. But we generally don't even audition those, as I said, in person anymore. So there isn't that you're not
Right.
doing improv with anybody. But for animation, yes, I would do it. Caveat: it's not really improv. So what has happened in the past, when we've been doing sort of Zoom auditions with the client or in person with the client, they'll say, "Oh, he's so great. Okay, maybe on the next, let's have him do some improv." I'm like, "Okay." So I'll say, "Okay, so and so, go. So we're going to do this next one, and just give us a little bit of improv, whatever you want to do." Okay. And if they actually come from improv, they do improv, which is they create a whole scene, and now they're walking down the street and they're driving their car, and I'm like, whoa, 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 this is what's happening. And the clients are kind of like, what are they? I'm like, they're doing improv. So when animated clients say improv, they don't mean improv. They mean maybe, a couple of lines here, a little button there, as you
Right.
said, a little laugh, something that we're not expecting. And if you're going to do it, again, when it's live, my suggestion would be don't repeat the improv, because some people will see a reaction
Right.
and go, oh, they laughed, I'm going to say it again. Nope, don't do that. They want to know that you can think on your feet. So even if you have to write on your script 3 different improv lines, do that rather than repeat yourself.
Great advice. We've got a question here. Nick Hunter says, thank you for running this. Would you consider watching, or in your case, listening to 2 different takes for a tape? Is it better to offer different ranges or solidify one choice?
And that will vary. The answer will vary from casting person to casting person. What we do is when we send out for animation in particular, do one to spec, and then the second one either push that as you suggested, Nick. So solidify that one choice by on your second take pushing all your choices forward a little bit and being a little more bold, or on your second take do something that we are not expecting at all. Now, other casting people, and that's why you should always figure out who you're auditioning for and what their likes and dislikes are, have told me, oh no, I don't want that.
Right.
I just want the one choice because they feel that it weakens your choice. I don't. I feel like, oh, but the actor has booked from doing something unexpected before. So they're very creative. They can do 72 different things with this spec or this character or this drawing. So let's hear what they got. So I've had lots of people book from their second choice where I went, oh my God, that is so insane. I'm so forwarding that. And they book it.
Love it.
So kind of, to figure out who the casting person is and what they're looking for. And your agent can probably help you with that too.
Right. Thank you, Nick. Love your dog too. If your dog's got a voice, submit the demo soon. I'm sure a lot of Huskies can sing. So maybe now, where are we going here? Number 6 is voice demo reels. So let's talk about those. If an actor is new to voice, what should they put on their demo?
So if you're new to voice, I would start with commercial because that's where we're going to make the biggest use of a demo. We'll book directly from demo, oftentimes with commercial. And we'll also decide who to call in for Zoom auditions based on your demo. It shouldn't be longer than a minute, maybe tops a minute and a half, and you're showing range. So if we're talking about commercial, you're showing range. As we were saying, you might have a soft, very understated read, more natural. You might have something that's high energy. You might do a candy. You might do something that's a character. And 3 spots is fine. If you want to do 8, you can do that. But as long as I can hear range, I'm good.
Great.
For animation, it's the same thing. It's a minute and a half. What an animated demo is going to do is get you in the door. Most of the time, we're not going to book from demo. So I'll listen to it, maybe as a backup if I've heard your self-tape and I don't know you. And I'll go, oh, well, that person's pretty good. Yeah, I'll bring them into the client. So you should get a demo for every genre that you want to participate in voiceover. But I understand they're super expensive. So I would start with commercial if I were going to, because that's where the bulk of the work is as far as booking from demo.
Great. You said you mentioned something there that you listened to a demo and you're like, oh, this person's good. Can you elaborate on if you're listening to a demo, what is that you're hearing that makes you decide, oh, this person is a strong voice actor? What boxes are they checking?
If it's commercial?
Either or. Sure, start with commercial. Yeah.
This is a weird answer. Clarity is huge. And I don't know why it's become almost an issue of the past sort of 10 years. A lot of people have mush mouths now. And you just can't do that in voiceover because that's all we can't see your face. So we're only hearing you. So your voice, you have to enunciate you. And I'm not talking about over enunciating, but I got to be able to understand you for Pete's sake.
Right.
So that I'm listening for that. I'm listening for commitment to the read and the tone of whatever it is. And for animation, it's locking into a character and staying in character and not sliding, or staying in the accent and not sliding out of the accent, because man, oh man, you're going to have to do that when you book. You're going to have to stay in it for an hour or 2 hours, or if it's gaming, sometimes 4 hours. The sessions are long,
right?
And it's just you. So yeah, those are the big ones, I would say.
Yeah, that's a great tip about choosing a voice that you can maintain. It can't just be something that especially I've made choices in the past where it just wasn't vocally supportive. It just wasn't something you could tell it wasn't good for my voice, and I wouldn't want to do that for 4 hours.
Oh,
so
God, no.
you really got to watch.
Yeah.
Make sure you're taking care of your voice too.
Yeah.
Nick Hunter says, Amazing. Thank you for the thoughtful response. My husky does have a wide range of voices, that's for sure. So send in the demo, Nick. Send in the demo. This is Larissa. Larissa Wilson, thank you. She says that this is great. Thanks so much. Should demos also include different accents we can do? I found most casting just look for general American anyways, so are accents important?
People, I totally hear you. And because it's so short, it's almost a wasted spot on your demo if you put an accent on. A lot of people now have accent demos. And I will say, because we are casting authentically these days, you have to be of that background to do the accent. So don't do, unless you are from there or that's of your heritage, I wouldn't start doing cuckoo accents. I mean, you could still do New York and, Bronx and whatever, but we don't have a lot of call for it anymore just because we're looking for authenticity now.
Right.
So if we need someone that has that accent, we're pretty much casting there. Like I'm casting a lot in the UK and in Ireland, still casting here, but obviously there's way more if I'm looking for that accent over there. So yeah, we're doing legit. So I wouldn't waste my demo space with that. Yeah.
There you go, Larissa. All right. Now it is time for our second break. One of our hosts, Fareed, he has produced a new series that's coming out. So we've got a little pitch trailer that we're going to share. And so shout out to Fareed and cast. This is the trailer for Day Players. Here we go.
You are a born protagonist. Look at you. You're a failed professional.
Okay, I wouldn't say failed.
You're a finding bastion of hope in a rundown old school.
I mean, it's not that
It
bad.
just happens to be shared by the only woman who ever broke your heart.
What did you do?
Shh. Just watch.
I've got a lot of auditions lined up. Like, so many auditions.
You can imagine. I could relate. I'm having so many bookings. Like it's like a library, just books everywhere.
That's right. You're looking at the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman.
I nailed my audition, bro. They said they'd call me.
Guys, I'm gonna be the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman.
You are looking at the host of
Right over
Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of hostility from you right now.
Oh, please mansplain it to me so I can understand it better.
Clearly you don't know what mansplaining is. Let me break it down for you.
He's dead.
Which is the purest and greatest form of theater? Improvisation.
Told you I would eat you. I told you I would eat.
Woo! Let's go!
I cannot watch this anymore. This is agony.
All right. You can watch for Day Players coming soon. Shout out to Fareed and crew. Yeah, that looks wild and lots of fun too. And everybody loves Canadian gem Patrick McKenna too. So really cool to see him in that and the entire cast. So we are back here at Entertainment 411. If you're just joining us, we have Kim Hurdon from KH Voice Casting with us. This is 10 questions. And we have a contest going on right now. If you still haven't entered, to enter the contest, just hashtag on Facebook. You need to be watching on Facebook to do this. So if you're watching on YouTube or X or Instagram, flip over to one of our channels on Facebook and hashtag Queen of Voice. And at the end, we're going to give a random, it'll be a random giveaway to win a 30-minute consult, a coaching and consultation. See, there we go. I had mush mouth right there. A coaching and consultation session for 30 minutes with Kim. She's been very generous to donate that time. And we're going to do the draw at the end of the episode. So we're going to get back into the questions. Thank you for everyone who's joining us on all these platforms. Jen Bunny asked, where is Day Players coming out? That I do not know. So you'll have to ask Fareed that question. If anyone does know, if Fareed's mentioned it, feel free to pipe up in the comments. But I actually don't know what platform. It might be that they're still shopping it around and looking to sell it. I'm not sure if it has a release date yet. So question the 7th is, if an actor has never auditioned for you, what can they do to have the honor of that first audition with the Queen of Voice?
So how do they get it?
Yeah, I guess like it's a question of like, how do they get started? How do they get in? Like, I think a lot of people on the outside of the industry, And even when you've been in the industry for a while, it can still feel like you're on the outside. So I think sometimes people, when they're breaking in, just like, how do I get into this? How do I get started? How do people see me? How do I approach gatekeepers?
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Your agent will help you with that. Hopefully. I mean, that's their job, is to do intros. So depending on the relationships that they have with casting. And as I said, for animation, generally, we are doing a pretty wide net. So let your agent know that you want to start auditioning for whatever the genre is. And hearkening back to earlier, make sure you understand the genre before you do. Don't waste your shot. Because if I see the same name 3 or 4 or 5 times and they're just coming in under, I'm going to start to remember you for coming in under and start to not pay attention to you.
Right.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You want your name to be, hey, who's that? Who's that person? So that's what I would do. And there's a bunch, there's some really good classes that are headed up by casting. So even just participating in the class, it's almost like you're auditioning for them without really auditioning for them. And I have done lots of workshops and classes and things like this where I've heard people and gone, oh, got to keep them in mind. And so at the scrum the next day at our office, I'll say, oh, I saw this awesome person last night. Everyone keep them in mind. And we have lists that we sort of, so every time you get in front of someone, make sure you shine. And there are also lots of, especially for voiceover, different avenues you can take. There's social, I think everyone knows about it, but Clubhouse, which is an awesome platform for audio, and specifically because there's no visual. So there's tons of great voiceover groups on Clubhouse where you're auditioning, sort of getting on stage, if you will, and auditioning for US casting people and people from New York and audio. It's a really good platform. I would get in there. Voiceover is very, very supportive industry, and they'll help you out and you'll start to understand. There's conferences, there's tons of stuff you can do to get in front of people.
Yeah, get yourself out there. And I love that you mentioned classes too. I think especially when people are new to the industry, they're all like, how do I get an agent? How do I get auditions? It's like, maybe you don't want that yet, because your first impression is going to be of someone who doesn't have any craft, doesn't have any skill, doesn't really know the industry. So if you are new, I would say start with classes first before you're worrying about agents and auditions, because you'll be quickly exposed as a person who is out of their league if you are lucky enough to get a meeting with an agent or to get an audition with someone. So it is a profession. I think that's something that people forget. They're just like, oh, I'm a human being. I can say words and I have a face, so I'll be an actor. But there's a lot of craft to it, and the people who thrive in this business are people who are lifelong learners. The classic 20-year overnight success. Of course, you get the odd person like the golden boy or the golden girl that's just like a made person, made man or woman right out of the gates, but that's the exception to the rule. So keep learning, keep growing, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and you are so right. In voiceover specifically, a lot of people think, as you said, well, I have a voice, I can talk, I can read, I can do that. Even actors that are like, in Stratford, they come in and they're like, oh, this is actually kind of difficult. Like, I don't know how to read a commercial. I'm like, yeah, you think? People make a living doing this. Like, it is a very specific part of acting that most people just sort of poo-poo, if you will, and don't understand that there's a lot of training that goes into it.
Yes. Question 8.
Yes.
In our opinion, in your opinion, I think that's probably going to be in your opinion.
Okay.
I'll throw my opinion in there too if we want to make it our opinion.
Cool.
But we'll start with your opinion. How important is it for an actor to be on the roster of a top agency?
In my opinion, it's not super important. I don't care. I mean, if you want to be, you can, but I don't have any issue with really any agents in town. I would say it's more about the relationship that you have with the agent. So just figuring out who you click with. Do you want to be on a giant roster with tons of people? Do you want to be on something more boutique? I would check it out and make sure that you don't have a lot of people competing with you on that roster, if you will. Yeah, I would think it's more about the relationship that you have with the agent and whether you dig them or not. And some people like to have scary agents and be scared by their agents. I wouldn't. Some people want to be more, oh, it'll be fine. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to do it.
Right.
So it depends on what you dig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it is a relationship. It's not
Yeah.
like a relationship. It's a business relationship.
It
So
is.
you want to have a good relationship, open communication.
Yep.
So you're saying like you're not ranking submissions based on agency or any of that. You're looking at
No.
the talent and the skill of the individual actor and their agent, and just happens to be their agent.
That's it. Yeah.
Great. All right. And question, we're coming down to the wire here.
Okay.
We might, if there are any questions in the audience, get them in, because we're bringing this ship back to port here shortly. What would you like to see the Canadian entertainment industry do differently in order to grow?
Huh. That's a big one.
It's all on you. We're going to fix everything
Oh my
right here, Kim.
God. No. Well, I can say some wishes. I mean, I wish there was a star system, but I'm sure everybody says that if they're asked the question. And that's not really up to us. That's up to the media. But even thinking of ourselves as just as good as the US would help. Because we do have the talent up here. We don't have as much of it, but we certainly are a very talented bunch up here. And I wish that even clients didn't think, well, they got to kind of go down to the States and prove themselves. And then, like I had a client one time say, we're looking for, it was a commercial voiceover. We're looking for someone that's comedic, and they're going to break in the US. I'm like, how the do I know? Like, what are you asking me? What are you saying?
Just want you to rub the crystal ball and pick the winning horse for the next race.
It's not going to happen. So we have a weird attitude up here that you've got to sort of prove yourself down there, and then, okay, now you've made it. So now we think you're good. And I wish that didn't happen. And then I wish there was more adult animation up here being produced. That would help voiceover industry quite a bit, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So writers, creators, get cracking, get writing. I mean, that's a great note while we're talking about it, is any actor, if you have the ability to write and create your own things rather than wait for auditions, maybe you can create your own project.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, I've got some comedian friends who have recently done that, and they pitch, and now they're producing an animated series, and they're booking their friends in those jobs, and they've got creating jobs for themselves. So it's beautiful.
What about creating a job for me? Why aren't they reaching out to me? I'll cast. Come on.
I will get on it. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. You hear that, everyone? Reach out to KH Casting. She'll take care of all the voice casting for you, so you don't need to do it yourself. Let me check some comments here. Kai or K, again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. If you speak a second or third language, first of all, kudos to you. Do you have a separate demo for it? Say French in Canada. Is that important?
Yes. I would definitely if you can actually speak the language and it's not an accent, then yeah, I would have a separate demo for it. I will say though, a lot of people think that they can do French, but they've learned French in English schools. And so that doesn't fly.
So you're saying my grade 9 French isn't going to cut it, even though I can say, où est la bibliothèque?
No.
Je suis tu, elle,
no.
nous sommes. No?
Because as soon as you're on the air in Quebec, they're like, that's an English accent. Yeah. Screw off.
Yahoo?
Yeah. We don't like that. So yeah, make sure that you don't have an accent in whatever language it is. Yeah.
So separate demos if you can truly speak that other language.
Yeah.
And now, I hate to say it, Kim, but this is the final question.
Oh my God. Okay.
We've all got mentors. Who are some of your mentors and why?
Huh. Good one. Okay, I'm gonna say I have a weird answer. I would, because I've got a couple of celebrities that I just think are kind of cool. So, and they're weird. Dolly Parton, I love her. Because she's so pure and awesome and talented, and she just is a lovely person, and she cares about people and books and all of the stuff. She's just awesome, and she has Dollywood, and anyway, that. And Gene Simmons, for almost the same reason, only the opposite. bit of a dick, but what a businessman.
Right.
And really understands the industry he's in and knows how to market himself and the band and always has. And now they've done the last tour and they have avatars of themselves, so they will live on forever because AI. Smart.
Right.
And then personally, I've got a great friend, Kathleen McNair, who used to be the an exec VP at Chorus. She's retired now. So whenever I have any sort of weird business question or law, she's a lawyer as well, I reach out to her. And my sister is super, super smart. She's a big uppity up at IATSE. So I ask her advice quite a bit too. Yeah.
Nice. Sister.
Yeah.
Uppity up. I've never
Uppity
heard
up.
that term before. I like that. Uppity up. All right. Well, I want to say thank you so much for your generosity, first of all, and taking the time to be with us today.
It was fun.
Your answers were incredible. We had tons of comments throughout with just letting us know how valuable this has been.
Awesome.
And so this has been great. We're broadcasting on all the social platforms. I think normally we replay these. So if you're just tuning in, you'll be able to go back and watch the replays as well. And I believe it is prize giveaway time.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
This is last chance to be entered into the draw. Hashtag on Facebook. You got to be on Facebook. So if you're watching on a non-Facebook platform, flip over to Facebook. Type in Queen of Voice, hashtag Queen of Voice, and you'll be automatically entered into this draw. And now watch this, Kim. I'm going to do something.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
And hang on. We see that? We see that? Okay.
Yes.
So last chance, get them in. We have, I think, 25 entries. Last chance to fire in Queen of Voice. If you've already done it, multiple, like it only counts one per entrance. Okay, we got one in. Did we get one in there? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna press the button.
Oh my God.
And here we go. Ooh. Emily M is the winner. Tell them what they won, Joey. They won a 30-minute one-on-one coaching / consultation session with Kim. I'm going to flash for you, Emily, if you are watching right now. Hopefully you're still with us. I will flash. The contest winner should contact us at ebosscanada@gmail.com. Send an email to ebosscanada@gmail.com. That's EBOSS Canada@gmail.com. Maybe just fire in the subject line saying contest winner or Kim Hurdon contest winner. Let's see if Emily is still with us here. Oh, there she is.
Yay!
Congratulations,
Yay,
Emily. Congratulations. Now let me stop this screen share. That's great. So Emily, make sure you send that email to us. And I want to thank all of our viewers, everyone across the world, across the internets for tuning in. And big thank you to Kim. Final words of wisdom, sage advice, urgent messages, conspiracy theories. What do you need to tell these people?
I'm going to repeat everything I already said, but in short, make sure you're studying, make sure you're taking classes, getting coaching. When you're doing those things, make sure that you're taking lessons and coaching and workshops from people that actually work in the industry, not worked, so that are working. And your homework is to watch cartoons and play video games.
Oh, you mean I have to? Oh, what great homework. All right. We got all kinds of people here saying thank you. Niles says thank you. Jen, thank you. Louise, all kinds of people. So thank you, Kim. Thank you, viewers. This has been Entertainment 411. I'm Joey Freddy Larson, and we'll see you next time on Entertainment 411. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
You do
hang
it.
up.
No.
Okay, on 3. And 3, 2, 1.